Horus Aximand served as captain of the 16th Legion's 5th Company during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. Known by his peers as Little Horus due to his uncanny resemblance to his gene father, Aximand would be born on Chthoniya among the gang wars of the Lunar Wolves' homeworld. Ascending to the rank of captain, Aximand would be inducted as a member of the fraternal band of advisors to the Lupercal, known as the Mournival. As a champion of the warrior lodges of the Legiones Astartes, Aximand's susceptibility to become enthralled by the ruinous powers would be his undoing. With the War Master's mortal wounding upon the moon of Darwin by the Kinnebrak Anaphame, Aximand and the Mournival would desperately seek a means to cure their liege. Allowing the Davenite cultists of the Temple of the Serpent Lodge to heal his Primarch with fell powers, Aximand would bear responsibility for the War Master's corruption by chaos. Aximand would join Horus Lupercal and First Captain Ezekiel Abaddon in their betrayal of the Emperor, and attempt to slay their resolutely loyal Mournival brothers. Killing Captain Tarik Torgadon in single combat upon the coral city of the world of Istvan III, Aximand would go on to command the traitorous Sons of Horus during the Loyalist counterattack of Istvan V. Resistant to the law of chaos, Aximand would attempt to refrain from the gifts bestowed by their poisoned chalice and find solace in serving his gene father as an unswervingly loyal son. Yet the death of his Mournival brothers would deeply shame Aximand as he wrestled with emotions of guilt for his actions. Hearing a slow, unending breathing within his mind, as if from a stalking predator looming from his shoulder, the once jovial in nature Aximand now served as a dour and troubled soul. Dreaming of ominous portents of his resolved campaigns, figures shrouded in darkness would intrude upon his soul. Commanding the compliance of the world of Dwell, Aximand alongside his newly appointed Mournival brother, Grail Noctua, would lay siege to the planet during 008.M31. Destroying the mortal defenders of the planet, the Sons of Horus would be ambushed by the Shattered Legion warband of Shadrach Medusan and slay the war leader's second-in-command, Bion Henrikos. Defending himself from the White Scars Brotherhood of Dawnsky, led by Hibu Khan, the Sagyamazan would cleave Aximand's face with his Iron Hands gifted Zweihander, leaving Aximand disfigured as he barely escaped with his life. The Sons of Horus Medicae would attempt to reattach Aximand's face as he dreamt of his revenant former brother-in-arms, Garviel Loken. Believing Loken to be dead, Aximand would awaken and return to his command of the Battle of Dwell. The Shattered Legions would attempt to assassinate the Primarchs Mortarion, Fulgrim, and Horus, and come close to achieving their objective. Wounding the War Master and Lord of Death, Dwell would be left as a smoking ruin, as penance for the temerity of the war leader. Returning to the vengeful spirit, Aximand would once more grapple with his dreams of misfortune until the Sons of Horus flagship would be infiltrated by the Knights Errant of the Sigillite. Confronted by Garviel Loken, Aximand would charge into battle, wielding his power sword, Mourn It All, and capture his returned kin. The Knights Errant would escape, yet the War Master's charge towards the Throne World would not relent. Aximand would see to the capture of Pluto during the Solar War and face First Captain Sigismund of the Imperial Fists aboard the void ship Lacrimae. Losing his hand during the duel with Sigismund, Aximand would retreat from battle and not return until the War Master's final assault of Holy Terror. Following the fall of the Lionsgate spaceport, Aximand would take to the field. Beneath the Saturnine Gate, Garviel Loken would once again face Aximand in battle. The Knights Errant would massacre the Sons of Horus in the ambush devised by Rogel Dawn, and Aximand would retreat, yet not shake the pursuit of his vengeful brother. Panicking at the sight of his relentless foe, Aximand would face Loken in battle one last time.
"You're a dream,"
said little Horus. No, said Loken.
A nightmare.
That, perhaps, said Loken.
You should be dead.
I decided to live, said Loken, so that you and your kind could die. Axaman drew Mornitor.
All these years you've been coming after me,
he spat. Loken shook his head. His chainsword purred in one hand. Rubio's blade crackled in the other. Not you particularly, said Loken. Just all of you.
No, me,
cried Axaman.
You've always been there, I know it.
That's probably just your guilt, said Loken. They flew at each other, blades arcing in the soft light, edges dashed, the rapid impacts echoed in the empty gallery. Axaman parried both of Loken's blades. He hadn't lost his touch. He sliced at Loken. Loken ducked, swung out, braced his chainsword to block Mornitor, and thrust with Rubio's blade. Axaman darted out of reach, springing on his toes, mobile. He lunged again. Loken drove Mornitor aside. I wanted Abaddon, said Loken. I wanted Lupercal. Those were the names at the head of my list.
Well, you got me,
Axaman sneered. You always were the wrong Horus, said Loken. Axaman screeched in rage and lunged. Rubio's blade, lit from within, parried Mornitor. The chainsword rammed through Axaman's sternum and speared out between his shoulder blades. Loken lifted him on the revving blade and held him there, quivering. Axaman uttered a long, slow, oddly modulated scream as the cycling blades chewed up his internal organs. A torrent of blood pumped out of his mouth, down his chin and chest, pulsating with the tempo of the whirring chain. He dropped Mornitor. Holding him fast, Loken raised Rubio's blade and sliced his head off with one fluid execution stroke. In the gloom, the sound of slow breathing that had haunted little Horus Axaman ceased forever. Axaman would be eviscerated by Loken, another pawn of chaos humbled by the might of the Emperor's noble sons. His death ceasing the endless breathing that had plagued his thoughts since the Istvan betrayal.